Welcome to the Dice Tower, a video podcast about board games and the people who play them. This is a special episode of the Dice Tower in which Tom and Melody Vasel talk about their top 100 games. And now, here are your hosts, Tom, Melody, and Holly Vasel.
Welcome to the Dice Tower. Hi, I'm Melody and this is Holly. We're going to talk about 6 games today about our top 100 games.
Let's get to them.
I like this game because you're collecting mutants and killing the bad guys.
Yeah, and you're doing that by collecting cards. Melody's a fan of the X-Men, actually. Who's your favorite X-Men?
Jubilee!
But Jubilee's not in this game, so who's your favorite of the ones in the game?
Rogue.
Right, and basically what you're doing is you're trying to move your piece around this track, but you're doing that by collecting sets of X-Men cards. So say, for example, here, I collect 3 of the Archangel cards, and then I'll use those to capture different enemies. Magneto here needs 4 of a kind to capture him. Omega Red needs 3 of a kind and 2 of another. The Brood needs 1 of 4 different kinds. Apocalypse needs 3 and 3. And so you're trying to collect sets and capture them, but there's also special cards that let you steal... not special cards, but the dice will let you steal cards from other players. You roll a die and it will let you draw 2, or swap cards with another player, and take more X-Men, switch with someone else, add more villains to the board. And there's a lot of luck, but it's odd because this is a game that was in, Toys R Us and KB, and it's actually a pretty good one. I got it at a garage sale, and for some reason, Melody wants to play it all the time. Oh, those X-Men. Okay, I'm cheating here. I don't know which one of these games I like better. I really don't. They both have their ups and downs, or mostly ups. Here's Commands and Colors Ancients. Romans, Persians, Greeks, Barbarians, more Romans. There's just so much in this game. The Carthaginians, there's epic battles, but then again, battle lore, fantasy, monsters, better tactics almost, monsters, cavalry, plastic units. Which one is better? They both have very, very similar rules. Battlelore has an interesting magic system, and with the new expansions that are coming out this year, which I haven't played yet, that have heroes and stuff, I expect to see this game expand it quite a bit. Commands and Colors seems to be the most tactical of the whole Commands and Colors series. But which one do I like better? I could not tell you. I do not want to get rid of either one. They're both fantastic games I want to play a lot. You said, but in previous years I've had 3 of these games tied. Where's the third one? It's higher on the list. See you soon.
I like this game because you're trying to shoot other people or, all that kind of stuff.
Now, is it okay to shoot someone in real life?
No.
Ever?
No.
Alright, but in this game, it's fun to pretend, and we get to play with toy guns and toy all kinds of things like shooting stars. What? There's no shields allowed in this game? But anyway, Cashing Guns is a game that works really well with adults. You've already seen it in my top 100. It's a game, but Melody wants to play all the time, and she actually does good at it. And I think it's because no one wants to shoot a little girl, but no one wants to shoot a little girl, but she has no qualms. Although I'm finding that she's shooting her mother more than anyone else, and then she shoots me. You need to shoot other people. I've already talked about Agricola in an earlier show this year because I love Agricola, and it was my top 10 last year, and the only reason it came down was because there's 2 new wonderful games in my top 10. But since I played it last year, I've had the opportunity to really deck it out. I now have completely nice wooden pieces, food and fish. I've stickered up all the other pieces of the game. I have extra sheep, carrots, bricks, wood. I decked it out to begin with, but it's even better now. It's one of the games I'm most proud of, but it's still an entertaining game, even without all the cool pieces, because you are a farmer, which doesn't sound interesting, but this game makes it fun. You're collecting resources, using those resources to build up, and there's a huge deck of cards. So for those who like collectible card games, there's a hint of that in this. For those of you who like resource producing game, there's a lot of that, and there's interaction. The game works really well together. And as I said, the only reason it's not in the top 10 is because 2 other games knocked it out. But I'm telling you, if you want a game that just seems to have a huge, overwhelming number of options going on, it's Agricola. Just make sure you feed your people.
I like this game because they're trying to get the most points.
All right, hang on. I need to I need to come over here and talk for a second. I did not make this list for Melody. She picked it herself. Dominion is a game that I love. You're going to see it on my top 100 very, very soon. Dominion is a game I think is fantastic. And so I played it with Melody just to see if someone who was her age, she was 8 at the time we first played it, to see if she could handle it. And she played it, and she's played it many times. She's played it against adults, and while it took me a while to teach her some tactics in the game, she eventually got good enough at it that she could play against the adults on a pretty decent basis. What's your favorite card in the game?
Market!
What's the card that you don't like at all? Is there any of those you don't like? I don't like the thief.
Witch.
Oh, the witch? Yeah. And she's really getting excellent at playing the game, and so I can play her 2-player and not pull any punches, and we can have a really good, excellent game of this. And I think this speaks highly for the game that it plays well with both adults and kids. But it's your list. Your list. I didn't pick the games. Just wanted to make that clear. Another game that was knocked out of the top 10, again because of new games, is Race for the Galaxy. Now, Race for the Galaxy is a tremendous card game, and since I've talked about it, there's been 2 expansions that have come out for it. Usually I'm a big fan of expansions, and in this case, I'm glad I have them, the expansions for Race for the Galaxy, but neither one really added anything of any impact to the game other than more interesting cards. More interesting cards, good idea. All the other stuff that both expansions added, like the solitaire playing variant and the victory conditions, take them or leave them. The 5-player, that's not a bad idea. But it's basically still a wonderful game. Take my world. Use cards as multiple things. Every card is either money, it's resources, it's a planet, it's a technology. How am I going to play these? Yes, it still is almost sometimes solitaire to a degree. I kind of keep my eye on what other players are doing, but I'm still working on my own thing right here. But you know what? I like doing that. It's fun. And Race for the Galaxy, while it certainly is going to be a difficult game for some with all the different icons on it, once you know how to play it, doesn't get much better than this. In fact, only 10 ones that are better than it. All right, well, thanks for watching with us today, folks. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Melody. And I'm Holly.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.